Back in 2013, there was a wonderful little mockumentary called the WNUF Halloween Special. It was presented as a lost recording of a live broadcast of a Halloween event from October 31st, 1987. The movie revolved around a reporter and several others who were investigating a haunted house. To keep the feeling of the film authentic, they went all in and made fake commercials as well as other things that made you think that you were watching an unearthed recording from the past. As someone who used to religiously watch sightings, encounters, and tons of paranormal programming, this felt like something that really could have come out back then. Aside from the 1992 mockumentary Ghost Watch, there really wasn't anything else like it. Anyway, along comes Haunted Ulster Live in 2023. This immediately caught my attention because it reminded me of WNUF. I thought that perhaps they might be able to do something similar but add their own flair to it. Well, they did. Sort of. I requested a screener from Screambox to check it out. Haunted Ulster Live is about a reporter that's doing a live Halloween special investigating a haunted house in Belfast. Sounds kind of familiar. Although at this, they spent more time at the house and didn't have as many fake commercial breaks and whatnot. They did a lot of cutting back and forth between the host of the event and the behind-the-scenes crew, as well as the crowds amassing outside the haunted house. As you would suspect, the poltergeist activity in the broadcast gets progressively worse, and the whole thing goes from silly to scary. I'll be honest, overall I enjoyed this, but I did have some problems. First off, I liked that they tried to keep it authentic. The force banner between the hosts and the program's stingers felt like something you would have seen around then. I also liked that they made it a combination of the fake live footage as well as the behind-the-scenes footage. So it was almost a making-of program while they were making it. I think this is probably the biggest thing that separates it from WNUF. The little touches like the boom mic really helped to keep it feeling fun. Didn't take itself too seriously until the other shoe dropped, and then it did. I also liked that there was a little more going on here than what you might think. As it progresses, things get worse, and the haunting takes a pretty large left turn more than halfway through. The cast all plays their parts well, which helps to make this homage feel authentic. And now the negative stuff. Like I said, things take a turn for the worse more than halfway through, but I felt that was a little bit later than it should have been. Once it happens, I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil it, that was when it got really interesting. Problem was, the whole thing wasn't much more than an hour long. So it gets interesting, and then we get a little bit more story, and then the end. The, let's say, first half where they were setting everything up worked, but I think it needed just a little something more. I hate to keep comparing it to WNUF, but they had these terrific little commercial breaks, which helped the pacing and move the whole thing along. With this, them going back and forth between the broadcast and the behind-the-scenes stuff, it wasn't quite as engaging because I could see where it was headed. It just really didn't keep me as tuned in as I would have hoped. Although credit where it's due, there was a lot of foreshadowing in the first half, so it rewards you for paying attention. The problem is, some of the stuff was kinda dull. Maybe now that I know what was happening, going back and rewatching looking for clues, it might be more rewarding. As of currently, I've only seen it once, but I wouldn't mind giving it another go in the future. I believe the movie premiered at Fright Fest in London, and it's currently streaming exclusively on Screambox. I do think a lot of love went into this, and they wanted to make another homage to the haunted TV specials of the time. It just wasn't quite on par with the others. I'd say give it a look if this sounds interesting, but keep your expectations in check.